Hey YouTube, it's Mike here. Did a video on this J-tube build yesterday, and you can see I've kind of cheated a bit here. I basically wrapped it up in this is Roxol and then just some masking tape to kind of keep it in place, knowing that this is just for temporary testing purposes. Although it looks kind of cool, I would love to just cast it the way it is. So if you haven't watched the other video, I'll put a link to it below so that you can go ahead and check that out to see what it looks like without all this wrapping on. Now, I had said at the beginning of that video I was going to try and show you step by step by step. Basically what happened is last night, just around as it was getting dark, I came out, tried to light it, not really thinking, and then a lot of the material I was trying to use yesterday was awfully wet, and I went to get some more paper or whatever, and I came back out and it was pouring down rain. I didn't even come out and rescue it. So this has been out in the rain overnight. I managed to find a few sticks here that were inside. I actually had kind of kept them for another project and decided I better sacrifice them because I needed something dry to get this thing lit. Right now we're currently at 3 degrees Celsius, feeling more like -3 with the snow here a little bit, a couple flakes in the air, and more supposedly coming. So this has been lit before I started recording, mostly because I wasn't even sure it would go, and it's only fairly recently been lit. Maybe it might have been 15 minutes now since I first started burning paper in it. It is starting to create some heat. The steam is slowly starting to stop coming out of the Roxol here. It was pretty wet. And over here, I'll get closer, there's a pile of the stuff that was put out. It must have started burning a little more than I thought, and yet a bunch of it just stopped. So whether it was that it got wet or whether it just wasn't getting enough air, I don't know. So anyway, you can see on occasion the flames licking through. Just before I started this video, you could actually see the secondary air working quite well, and then whatever's changed here, the wind right where I am is kind of all over the map, but basically it's not really smoking currently, but it is throwing up a bit of ash and this and that. I just burned a whole bunch of paper and stuff, so that kind of explains why. But the way it kind of turned out, it looks like a funny looking cast unit. You can see, if you see my other video, there's the piece that comes up here. It's just kind of a hook in the end. And you can see that it lets the sticks lay in here okay. This is just some real soft wood that was, you can see it was dry, so that's why I grabbed it and stuck it in here to try and get this thing going. Now that it's warming up, we'll stick a little bit more of this in and see if we can get this thing to rip a little bit. I'd like to show you that secondary air, but you can see those go back in there a fair ways, and I'm not sure. There's a bit of, I don't know whether there's smoke or steam maybe coming off as things get going here. You can see last night I ended up burning a bit of the masking tape. I knew that would happen, actually. The fact that more of it hasn't lit up is kind of surprising me. It's warm, but I think a lot of that's the moisture probably trying to sneak out still. And we'll see if it regains any of its insulating value. This is the stuff from last night. And you'll see, I don't know whether I buried it, but that's like semi-charcoalized because of my slope here. I can stick that stuff and it'll slide right down kind of into the base of the burning zone. And it actually feels dry, so this is almost, I tried to chuck a little bit of grain in. I thought I had it going a bit last night, and I tried to throw a bit of grain inside of it, and I was thinking maybe that would take off, and the bit of grain that did burn went wicked. It was more sunflower hull or a husk. So it was kind of an interesting. It always burns so hot and blue. It's kind of neat. Makes like a torch. Got just some regular old wood chips here. Let's see if I can just. This is some I spilled earlier this year. Chuck them in here. Let's see how it kind of all just glides down a little bit into that zone and then it steams up like crazy. So yeah, you can see it's going. It's not quite performing the way I would have thought, but I'm going to let it go for a bit here and try and get the moisture out of the insulation here a bit better, and see, now that this stuff's in here, you can kind of, I'm not sticking the camera down in there, but you can kind of see a little better here and there the secondary air working the way it's supposed to. So anyway, I'm going to let this go for a bit. I'm going to kind of try and come up with a couple of pieces of bar or something to go across, and I want to stick a pot of water on. See if I can get any kind of bubbly action, although it is pretty cold out. So this is like the first burn of not just paper, it's actually wood, trying to heat it up and see what it will actually do. If I get you a bit closer, I don't know if you can hear the rockety noise, but wow, that's hot. So yeah, that's doing more than I was expecting, and it seems to be drying out faster than I thought. Just in my 7 minutes here since I started this video, it's really kind of acting more like a rocket stove, like what I'm used to seeing. So that's I guess warm-up burn number 1 here. Yesterday I did a paper burn just to see if it was going to flow the way I thought it should before I plugged all my poor cut and weld matches, and so this is definitely starting to want to go. It's starting to head for more smokeless. I think the bit of fume I'm seeing here and there, whether you're seeing it or not, I'm seeing a bit of like steam more than anything. I don't think I'd even want to call it smoke right now. And here we are for the first time. See if I can catch a shot of that or not. It's not going to show. Flames are just starting to come past the top. You're starting to see the odd lick come up. So it must be starting to do what it's supposed to do. And with the wind all crazy the way it is, I'm actually impressed that it's as consistent so far. So anyway, that's we'll post this one up, and then I'll see if I can maybe heat up some water, and then we'll come up with a plan to come up with a steam generator of some sort off this unit, which is the overall plan in the end. I'll have to go over that whole idea at another time. I got some weird ideas, trust me. All right, we'll talk to you.